Nothing lasts forever. 50 years after its debut, the Rococo style was visibly waning. People associated it with decadence and frivolity and meaningless decoration. They were ready for something new, something with more individuality, and a style that could at least address serious topics seriously. That next 100 years is often called the Romantic period, and not because people were falling in love. Romanticism meant a greater interest in personal emotions and encouraged a variety of expressiveness in literature, in poetry, and music. In art, painters made everything from scenes of frightening nightmares to sentimental pictures of the happy poor. Neoclassicism was a popular style during the Romantic period. In terms of product design, Neoclassicism used the design elements of ancient Greece and Rome. The focus was on order, harmonious balance, symmetry, more geometric shapes and straighter lines, and more restrained decoration. A neoclassical product might still look fussy and decorative to you, but it looked very different to the people living then. Did everyone rush out and buy everything new? No, of course not, even if they could afford to. The older styles were still beautiful and valuable. People did not replace sets of silver or rooms of furniture because that was very costly and it was not considered necessary. Besides, not everyone liked the new style. Keep in mind that even though there was a style change, products were still made primarily by hand, they still took a long time, and they were still expensive. We don't worry today much about class issues when we design things or buy things. If people can afford expensive cars or furniture or electronic devices, all they have to do is be able to pay for it. If they can't afford something expensive, it's usually available in a cheaper model. Besides, there are lots of ways to make money, and most people have credit cards. You can buy something expensive and pay for it a little at a time. Was there credit in the pre-modern, pre-industrial world? Of course there was, and the wealthy took advantage of it, often making designers and artists wait for months for payment. It was very hard to force an aristocrat to pay quickly, and bad business to make it public that he hadn't. In the pre-modern world, class was far more important. Everyone knew their class or their station in life, and it was virtually impossible to move from a working class status to the aristocracy. While many people from the lower and the middling classes wanted to better their situation, they had been taught, and they believed, that it was improper and inappropriate to move too far out of their station in life. There were all kinds of rules and etiquette and established standards that people learned and followed to keep the class status quo in place. Working hard, improving your life, which usually included buying better designed things, was acceptable, as long as you respected your betters, which meant the people who were born into the upper classes. It was the Industrial Revolution, the growth of manufacturing, the establishment of capitalism as the primary economic system, and the explosion of a new middle class with money to spend that would dramatically change economic and cultural patterns forever.